Broiler chicken are prone to several diseases that can cause high mortality, poor weight gain, and major financial losses. But in this video, I'm going to discuss about the most dangerous diseases in broiler farming. There are some that are really dangerous, and I will explain them. And I'm not just only going to explain them, I'm also going to name some drugs that are very effective for the control of these diseases and how to prevent them so that you can make profit. Please, if this is your first time of coming across my video, kindly help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't hesitate to give this video a like, comment, and share for others to benefit. The first and the most common and also one of the most dangerous disease in poultry, especially broilers, is coccidiosis. You see this coccidiosis, there are about 3 to 4 emaria species of this particular coccidiosis. And one bad thing about this coccidiosis is that they have different sites in the intestinal lining of the birds. And the major symptoms of this coccidiosis is bloody or watery droppings. And you also observe poor weight gain. The birds will have a kind of dropping wings whereby they drop their wings down. They have ruffled feathers and lethargy. Now, the impact of this is that there is going to be high mortality if left untreated, and it spread very fast through contaminated litter, feed, or water. Now, the most and the best way to prevent it is good hygiene. Dry litter and coccidiostat should be mixed in feed or water. This will help you a lot. Now, there are some drugs that are very effective. For example, triple sulfur, pullorum, and toltralziril, and some other drugs. They are very effective for control of coccidiosis. Then the second disease to be wary of or to try and avoid as much as possible is Newcastle disease. Newcastle disease is a virus disease and it's a paramyxovirus. The symptoms of this Newcastle disease is that your birds will show a kind of twisted neck. Then you will notice paralysis of the limbs. That's the legs will paralyze, one stretching out. Then the birds will have sneezing, and you see greenish diarrhea, and then suddenly you see sudden death. Sometimes some persons confuse the sneezing in Newcastle disease to the sneezing in CROD. There are two different types, and I will explain the differences in my subsequent videos. Now, the impact of this is that it can wipe out the entire flock, Newcastle disease, because it is a virus and it spread rapidly. It can wipe out the entire flocks, and there's a vaccine for Newcastle disease. So make sure you vaccinate your pets against Newcastle disease. It's very effective. The two vaccines that are mostly used is ND Lasota vaccine or ND Komarov vaccine. Those are the two. The Komarov vaccine is administered via injection. Then we also have the one that is given orally, which is Lasota vaccine. So if you know you cannot inject, it's better you give Lasota vaccine, and it's administered through water orally. That is for Newcastle disease. This coccidiosis, there is also a vaccine for coccidiosis. One of the vaccines that I have used before now for control of coccidiosis is Emucos vaccine. This Emucos vaccine is very reliable for control of coccidiosis. The only thing that you just need to do is, after you administer the Emucos vaccine, whenever you want to change your poultry litters, by the time you clear them, you don't clear them all out completely. You just pack some of the old litters and mix with the fresh litters. So by so doing, the birds will keep on picking the Emucos vaccine, and they will recycle it in their system. It's very effective. Then there is this other medication that is coccidiostat that is mixed with feed. Anyway, by the time I get the name, I'll put it in the description box so that you check it, so that you will see it. I can't remember currently It's a coccidiosis that is normally mixed with feed. It helps to prevent coccidiosis on the farm. Then there are some drugs that can be used to treat coccidiosis. For instance, triple sulfatrim and amprolium. I always make sure these drugs because they are very, very effective for control of coccidiosis. The third disease that you should avoid at all costs in poultry farming is infectious bursal disease, and this is popularly called gumboro. Believe me if there is gumboro outbreak, it can wipe up 90% of your birds. I have experienced this gumboro outbreak in several farms, and it is not a story, it is not something that you want to experience. Now, the cause of is a virus disease and is caused by virus. This disease is very, very deadly. And the symptoms of this disease is droppiness, the trembling, ruffled feathers, diarrhea, and swollen bursal because it affects the bursal of cavity. And the impact is that it has high mortality in young birds and it renders them weak. Their immune system will be very weak such that other disease cannot affect the birds. Now, let me tell you something about this gumboro disease. Once there is an outbreak on the farm, it is very difficult to eradicate because it keeps coming over and over every year. It just keep coming every year. So try as much as possible to avoid this gumboro outbreak in your farm. The only way to prevent it is early vaccination. And once your birds, for example, if your layers have gumboro, when there is gumboro outbreak or gumboro disease in your layers, you rest assured that you cannot get maximum egg production. Then if it is for broilers, be also rest assured that the broilers will not grow rapidly. So try as much as possible to keep your poultry beds tidy and ensure that you put good biosecurity in place. The only way to try and avoid this from occurring in your farm is early vaccination. Vaccinate early and make sure you also buy your vaccine from a trusted and reliable source. The fourth disease is avian influenza, and this is popularly called bird flu. There are so many strain of this avian influenza, and the most popular one are the H5N1, H5N8, and many others. So, and it's caused by an influenza virus. The symptoms is coughing, nasal discharge, swelling, and sudden death. This avian influenza is as bad as infectious bursal disease. And one thing about this avian influenza or bird flu is that it can wipe out the entire stock completely. You can have up to 100% mortality. So please try as much as possible to ensure that you avoid this disease. The impact is severe outbreak. So this avian influenza is very, very deadly. The prevention is just to maintain biosecurity and report outbreaks. Then there is also vaccine to control this avian influenza. There are about 3 different vaccines for this avian influenza. But let me give you an important tip here. If there is avian influenza outbreak in your farm, try as much as possible to disinfect properly and vaccinate your birds against avian influenza. Now, once you bring in, even if your birds doesn't have avian influenza and you bring in that vaccine to your farm, there is every tendency that every year any birds you bring to that farm, you must administer the vaccine to avoid outbreak. The 5th disease is chronic respiratory disease. This is popularly called CROD, while some farmers will call it cough. It is caused by a Mycoplasma gallisepticum, and the symptoms is just as the name implies, coughing, sneezing. You also notice nasal discharge, and this will affect them and they will have poor growth. And it spreads through the air, maybe, and also through eggs and infected birds. The only way to prevent this is good ventilation. I always tell people that it's not just ventilation but cross ventilation, and this disease, normal antibiotics can be used to treat it. And also try as much as possible to avoid overcrowding. These are the things that will help you to control chronic respiratory disease in your farm. Let me go to the sixth disease. And before I go further, please help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and share for others to benefit. The sixth disease that is very deadly and you should avoid at all costs is fowl typhoid and pullorum disease. This is caused by Salmonella species, and the symptoms is just that you will notice white diarrhea, there will be poor growth, you see the birds will be dull, and there will be high mortality, most especially in chicks. So the way to prevent is to use Salmonella free chicks. Get your chicks from a trusted and reputable hatchery, proper sanitation, and avoid contaminated feed and water. The seventh disease is Marek disease. Marek is caused by herpes virus, and the symptom is paralysis, blindness, and tumor. It's just to prevent, the only way to prevent is to vaccinate your birds, and this is mostly given from the hatchery before you get your chicks. So ensure that you get your chicks from a trusted and reliable hatchery. The eighth disease that is deadly that you should avoid is necrotic enteritis, and it's caused by Clostridium perfringens, and it's a bacterial disease. So the symptoms of this disease is just sudden death. Then you perceive this kind of foul smell, diarrhea, that is the poo of the birds will be smelling, and there is kind of intestinal damage. This disease is often linked to Coccidiosis outbreak, and so once there is necrotic enteritis, just know that there is an underlying Coccidiosis that is causing it. Now the prevention is just to have a good gut health, because you know when the gut of your bird is in good condition, they will be able to fight against some of these diseases, most especially Coccidiosis and the necrotic enteritis. Then you use probiotics for your birds, and also proper feed management. These are the diseases that are conversant, or that these are the most deadly disease that you should try and avoid in your farm. Now let me give you some important tips concerning these diseases. First thing is to observe strict biosecurity by limiting visitors, and also disinfect all your farming tools, your feeders, your drinkers. Make sure you disinfect them before using. Then you should vaccinate as recommended. That means you should follow proper vaccination program. Do not skip because you say this vaccine is expensive, so you have to skip it. No, try and vaccinate and give medication when due. There is an adage that says prevention is better than cure. So it is cheaper for you to prevent than you going for curative approach. Then the third tip I have for you is that always keep your litter dry and clean. Once there is wet litters, there is every tendency that disease outbreak will occur. But if your litters are always dry, it reduces the chances of disease outbreak. Now, you should also ensure adequate space and ventilation. This is very important. Like I always tell people, it's not just ventilation, but there should be cross ventilation so that hot air can go out easily and cool air can come in easily. Then the fifth point is that you should provide clean water and quality feed. This is the source of your birds doing well. Make sure that you give them clean water and good quality feed. I believe you've gotten tangible information from this video. Help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, give this video a like, comment, and share for others to benefit. Thanks.